Coming into our meditation posture to begin practice. If you're seated in a chair, coming all the way back so that the spine is supported by the back of the chair and that the feet are touching the ground. If the feet don't quite touch the ground, then placing something underneath of the feet so that they can have contact. And if you prefer to sit cross-legged on the floor, perhaps putting a rolled up towel or a blanket or cushion underneath of the hips to get just a little more height on the hips so that the hips are above the knees. And from this position, either in the chair or seated on the floor, allowing the spine to become nice and tall. You might even imagine a string pulling up from the crown of the head, allowing each vertebrae to stack one on top of the other. And the belly is relaxed and soft. And we can roll the shoulders back and down to really widen across the base of the shoulders, opening up that chest. And for this practice of calm abiding, we'll keep our jaw relaxed. So lips can be lightly touching or even parted. And the tip of the tongue rests right behind the front teeth at the top of the palate. So keeping those teeth separated and jaw relaxed. And for this practice, we will also practice with eyes open. So we only need to open our eyes about 1/4 of the way. So it is simply a soft gaze, just gazing down the bridge of your nose to a spot a few feet in front of you on the floor. And the gaze is open and relaxed. We're not staring holes in the floor. We're staring in one specific spot, just allowing the gaze to be open and relaxed. And from this supportive posture, connecting now with our breath. Noticing the sensation of the breath moving into and out of the nostrils. And we'll begin by taking a double exhale practice. So we'll simply inhale and then exhaling. And on the bottom of the exhale, exhaling just an extra breath. An extra breath at the end of that exhale, a double exhale. Inhaling again. Exhaling. Getting the rest of the air out of the lungs on the bottom of that exhale. And one more time of double exhale on your own, inhaling. And exhaling. And for today's formal practice of calm abiding meditation, we will be practicing the 21 breath technique. So we will simply be counting our exhales from 1 to 21 and back down to 0. We'll be counting these silently to ourselves. We'll be inhaling, exhaling. 1, inhaling, exhaling. 2, And we'll count in this way all the way up to 21, and from 21 back down to 0. And this is a practice of stabilizing the mind and stabilizing the attention to grow a firm foundation in our practice of meditation. So if you notice that the mind has wandered and you've lost count, it's no problem. Simply, gently returning to the counting, beginning again at 1, and counting all the way up to 21 on the exhale, and all the way back down to 0. And we'll go ahead and begin the practice together now. And I will remind you a few times of our focus of practice of counting the exhales 1 to 21 and back down to 0. And if you find that the mind has wandered off and you've lost count, simply returning again back to 1, counting 1 to 21 on the exhale, and back down 21 to 0. And when we find that the mind has wandered from our object of attention, from counting the breath, simply returning again, over and over with kindness and gentleness, recognizing that each time that we become aware that we've lost count, this is a moment of mindfulness, celebrating these moments of mindful awareness, and then simply returning to the practice of counting 1 to 21 and back down to 0. And now we can let go of this practice of counting, keeping our posture, maintaining our gaze, but letting go of the method and instead simply returning to rest in natural awareness. Just letting go into this moment and finding rest. And we can seal our practice in the same way we began by simply doing a few double exhales, so inhaling and exhaling, and exhaling a little more on the exhaled breath, and again inhaling and exhaling, and a little extra exhale to get out that last bit of breath, and one more time on your own. And sealing our practice together with a dedication. May all beings be free of suffering and the cause of suffering. May all beings experience joy and its true cause. May the fruit of this practice be to accomplish the highest benefit for all beings and all things everywhere. May all beings and all things everywhere experience the joy, clarity, dignity, and fearlessness of peace. May all beings and all things everywhere have peace. And to you I bow.